I was excited. They told me early in the week that I had a chance to, to start. So I was really excited. Just had to make sure I knew the game plan and was locked into all the little details.
What does your O line coach Wendell do to kind of prepare you for that? And what has he helped you grow with most since you've been here?
Just drill work in practice. He does a real good job of putting us in situations where game-like scenarios he'll put us through during practice. And just technique stuff. Making sure hand placement's right. Our footwork's good and stuff like that.
Yeah, the coaching staff talks a lot about the importance of continuity to not just the O line but the whole team. When you're getting in there for a start and you haven't been there the whole season, how do you kind of maintain that continuity and figure that out in the week prior?
You know, just playing next to all the guys. In camp we did a lot of rotating, so just building that throughout camp and then during the week.
What kind of challenges does this Eagles defensive line present for you guys, just from what you've seen on tape so far?
They're really good players. A couple of them are teammates, so from Georgia, but they're all really good players. They play good together, so making sure we know what our assignments and how to execute properly.
Yeah, got more than a few of those guys from Georgia.
Yeah.
What do you gain from having some experience playing with them and against them in practice?
Uh, that's a couple years ago. I don't even know if they switch up stuff too. So, but just knowing how they play, their mentality and how they think. So that's probably the big thing.
Have you been impressed with their performances so far this season, particularly Jalen Carter?
Oh yeah, they're all ballers. So I didn't expect anything less, than what they've been doing. So.
Played a rookie QB in New England. How did you feel like you guys performed against him?
I thought we played good. I feel like we gave up too many points, though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we beat ourselves with penalties and missed tackles and stuff like that. But, Drake May, I feel like he's going to be a good quarterback in this league, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad we got the dub.
How do you work through some of those things, whether it's, avoiding penalties or missed tackles when, you can't go full contact at practice and that sort of thing?
It's just locking in on the fundamentals, you know what I'm saying? Just hand placement, getting low enough on tackles. And you can still work on it in practice, you know what I'm saying? Just the fit, you know what I'm saying? The approach and the fit part of tackling, you know what I'm saying? But that's it, just fundamentals.
The safety room has been, balling out as a whole this year. A lot of young guys stepping up as well. What is the feel of that room, and what's the connection between you and those guys?
I feel like we're getting better. We're getting a lot better. You know what I'm saying? The young guys out there catching picks, making plays and stuff, which is always great to see. So I feel like we got a good room. In the safety room, and we got some defenses to where we can all be on the field at the same time, which is good because we all got a certain skill set. At each of us. So I feel like when we're all on the field together, we can make some really good plays.
Cam Kinchens, especially, obviously, in the last couple of weeks, has really stepped up. What have you seen from him that's really allowed him to shine?
Him just embracing the journey, you know what I'm saying, just getting better every week, you know what I'm saying. Since the beginning of the season, I feel like he's made really good strides in his game, you know what I'm saying. I feel like he's going to keep compounding on that and keep getting better.
And you guys got a tough challenge this weekend, prime time against the Eagles. Good passing game, but also a mobile quarterback. How do you make sure that you defend the back end of the field, without being vulnerable to the run?
Just watching film, being on our P's and Q's, everybody being on the same page, everybody doing their job the right way. And I feel like we go out there and we play our brand of football and how we know how to play it, we can come out with the W.
What's going to be challenging about, preparing for a guy like A.J. Brown?
I feel like he's a real good player. You know what I'm saying? He's a real physical receiver. But I feel like we got guys at the corner spot that can go head-to-head with him and make plays with him. So that's all we got to do is just make our plays when it's our time.
Coming off a big win against the Patriots, how do you feel like the defensive backfield performed?
I think we did really well. We've been kind of putting together a couple good weeks, especially after the bye. Guys are really making plays, having fun with it. Obviously, you've seen our celebrations. Young guys are stepping up and playing big roles. So, it's been fun. I think our communication has been on an all-time high, too. So, really just looking forward to stacking these weeks and continuing, the momentum that we have, for the rest of the season.
The safeties room obviously is having a lot of success. Some of the young guys getting in there as well. As a captain, what has been kind of your message and your way of leading them, into what they've been doing?
I think I tell them every time whenever we go out before a game, I said, have your celebrations ready. Like, we're going to make a play. We got a lot of playmakers in that back end, and, when your number's called and when your jersey's number's called, guys are going to make plays. And that's exactly what they've done. They've done a fantastic job. So, credit to them. Those guys, they study hard, they work hard, and it shows up on Sunday. So that's the biggest thing. And really just have fun with it too. I think it's so cool seeing the young guys, really earn all the, accolades that they have. Kam Kitchens won NFC Defensive Player of the Week for 2 times in a row. Like, as a captain and being an older guy in the back end, it puts a smile to your face because you see the work that they put in, and they're getting all the, achievements and accolades that they deserve.
You have any celebration ideas, or you leave that up to the other guys?
I had a couple earlier in the season. Didn't really work out too well, but these guys, I mean, they're fun. They know all the dances and stuff like that, so it's cool to see them. Really, I had to get all my dances and stuff from them, my celebrations from them. But since we've been doing so well, we've gotten forced fumbles, strip sacks, all that stuff. We'll come up with some this week as a collective.
And, the coaches have often emphasized the front and the back end playing as one, and it feels like you guys have done more and more of that as the season goes on. How do you kind of get to that point with this unit that, has a bunch of young guys?
Yeah, I think, you look at it, guys are really getting comfortable. That's the biggest thing, especially when you're a younger guy. You kind of have to find, what works, what doesn't. And I think guys, especially the coaches do a great job of putting us in position to make plays. And that's another thing about it, too, is, totally have trust and confidence in the play calling, in the assignment that you have. So, and I think that's what we've seen from both, all levels of the defense, whether it's, the front seven or whether it's the back end. You look at guys having success and you understand that, they're trusting what the coaches are doing. They're trusting in what, the coaches have planned during the week, and really it's just executing it on game day.
I don't know if you've been off the field at all this season, just in terms of like playing every snap. Yeah. How do you kind of prepare for that volume, and what is that like to be relied upon like that every single snap?
Yeah, I think it's amazing to be out there 100%. That's really what was one of my goals coming in this year, be on the field, no matter what. And the workload for me is really just making sure that my body's ready by game time, doing all the stuff that I can, working with the training staff to make sure that I feel, good enough to go out there and perform to the best of my ability. But, I'm not mad at the workload at all, honestly. I love it. Being out there, being able to communicate, put guys in, position to make plays, but also keeping guys at ease so their head can be clear and go out there and play fast. I mean, it's nothing but a blessing. And, shout out to the coaches for believing in me and trusting in me to be able to do that.
And, got the Eagles this weekend, big primetime game. What's the key to, defending a mobile quarterback like that without, giving up anything on the back end?
Yeah, I think, you have to understand that you might be covering longer than, expected. But also than that, you understand that they have really good players all around. They got a good receiving core, fantastic running back, good quarterback that's mobile. So understanding that is, how can we make – him play quarterback, not be able limit him to using his feet where he can make those off-schedule throws, while also, making sure that we're getting, pressures and stuff like that, so that, it's not easy targets. He's having, to make those difficult throws with pressure in his face. So we have a great game plan going on this week. Obviously, we'll have another, great day of preparation tomorrow, but I'm excited. These are the games that you want. Sunday Night Football against a really good opponent that's been 6-0 since they started 2-2. An 8-2 team that's number 2 in the NFC. We've been 4-1 after our bye, so it's a heavyweight showdown. I feel like it's gonna go down to the wire, and it's gonna be a slugfest. So I'm excited for it.